Hey, Sparky. Sparky. Come on, we gotta get ready to do our lesson. Where are you at? He's jamming. I hear the music jamming. Wonder where he went to. Let's see. Oh, look. Looks like Sparky's been working out this morning. He's jamming. He's got his workout music going. He looks pretty pumped up. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think he's pumped. All right, so I'm gonna get Sparky. I'm gonna get him a drink, get him cool down a little bit, and then I will see you in just a second, and we will start our lesson. Okay? All right, Sparky, I think you've had enough dancing today. What do you think? Did you have a good workout? I think he did. I think he's pumped up. He's ready to go, okay? All right, so we are going to start. I'm going to turn the music off here. Sparky is, I think, wore out. Are you hot? He said he's burning up. He just took the sweat off of him, okay? So I'm gonna set Sparky down and we're gonna get started on day 4 today, okay? So, hope you all been having a good time with these lessons. I've been seeing some great pictures, all of that stuff, so that's great to see. Hope you're learning some awesome things, okay? So, just to kind of review, our first lesson we talked about, remember? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, okay? And then the second day, we talked about the bully. And who was the bully? Goliath. And who defeated the bully? David. So we talked about David and Goliath on the second day. Then yesterday's lesson was about Mary and Joseph and their journey to Bethlehem and what they did to protect baby Jesus and that story, okay? So one thing that I do want to go over with you guys that I failed to mention, and I wanted us to learn this, our banner verse for this year for Vacation Bible School, which is our theme verse, and once I read this, you'll understand why all these lessons are the way that they are, okay? But our banner verse, or your memory verse, the verse that you should be working on, is in Ephesians 6:12, okay? And it says, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power, okay? So all of these stories that we've read is people having to deal with hard situations, and did they have to face that alone? No. So they believed in the Lord, and the Lord gave them strength, okay? Gave him strength in his power, because God is almighty. He can do anything that he wants to do, and he can help protect people too, okay? And so that is our banner verse. So once again, Ephesians 6:10 is be strong in the Lord and be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Okay, so that is our memory verse. And let's say it one more time since I goofed up. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Okay? All right, so today we're gonna do some movements. Again, we're gonna get a little exercise like Sparky was doing, okay? So, we're going to share a story that has lots of ups and downs. It is a story about Jesus and his disciples and takes place right after the miraculous feeding of more than 5,000 people, okay? So, if you need help with this story, by standing up when you hear me say the word up, and sitting down when you hear me say the word down. All right, so we're gonna practice, all right? So I'll repeat what I just said, and you can follow the directions I give. All right, so everybody get ready. All right, so it says night, stand up, okay? So we're gonna stand up and sit down, and then when you hear the words up, you stand up, and when you hear the words down, you sit down, okay? So that is that's how our movements for today for our story, all right? So after Jesus had finished the miracle of feeding the 5,000, all the people were filled up, okay? As the crowds were sitting down, Jesus made his disciples get into a boat and go to the other side of the lake. Then Jesus went up the mountain and prayed. He continued even when the sun went down. Meanwhile, the disciples were having trouble. The winds had really picked up, and the boat was being battered by waves far away from the land. Very early in the morning, Jesus came down from the mountain and walked on the lake towards his disciples. When the disciples saw this, fear swelled up inside them. "It's a ghost," they said. Jesus tried to calm them down by saying, "Be encouraged, it's me. Do not be afraid." Peter replied, "Lord, if it's you, order me to come to you on the water." And Jesus said, "Come." So Peter got up and he started walking on the water towards Jesus. But when Peter saw the strong wind, he became frightened and started sinking down. And he shouted, "Lord, rescue me!" Before Peter could flounder upside down in the water, Jesus reached out and grabbed Peter, and pulling him up out of the water, Jesus said, "You man of weak faith, why did you begin to have doubts?" When they got into the boat, the wind settled down. Then those in the boat worshiped Jesus and said, "You must be God's son." They knew that through life's ups and downs, the love and power of Jesus would always be with them. Okay? So you got a little exercise in this morning. So I think this story kind of relates to all of us. Sometimes it's really hard to have faith and to keep that belief when things are kind of going rough and when things seem impossible. And it's really kind of hard to keep that faith strong, isn't it? And we do have ups and downs in life, you know. Sometimes things are going really, really well, and then there's other times when things aren't going so well in our lives. Maybe we're, getting ready to start a new school, or maybe, one of your friends is moving, or maybe you're getting ready to try out for the ball team and you're nervous about that, okay? So there's a lot of ups and downs, but like our banner verse says, we have to believe in his power, okay? We have to have that faith, and we have to keep going. Because Jesus, like I said, he can do anything he wants to. He's Jesus. All right? So there's nothing out of Jesus' reach that he can't take care of. All right? And like Peter, a lot of the times when we start to lose sight of that power that Jesus has had, or keeping that faith strong, we do start to feel like we're sinking down, don't we? We start to have even more problems because we start thinking the worst of everything, and we start thinking, "Oh, I just can't do this. I can't do it. I'm not strong enough to do it, or I'm not smart enough to do it, or somebody else is going to beat me." So just remember, you always have to have that faith that God's there. He can do anything as long as you trust in him and you turn it over to him and you let him take control of the situation, okay? So in our life application here, let's go over this. It says, when the disciples saw Jesus walking on the water toward them, what did they think he was? Yeah, they thought that he was a ghost. Ooh, okay? They were seeing it with their own eyes, yet they still had a hard time believing it. Who decided to join Jesus on the water? Peter. Yep, so Peter decided to walk out there and to join Jesus, did he? Was Peter able to walk on water at first? Yes, he was. Because why? Because he believed. He believed he had the faith. He believed that Jesus could get him over to the other side. Okay? Then what happened after that? Right, he started to sink because he started to lose sight. He started to lose his faith on that Jesus could get him across this lake, right? Okay? Peter was doing great. Then he looked down at the water and the waves and remembered who he was. How in the world was a mere human like him walking on the water? But it wasn't remembering who he was at St. Peter, it was forgetting who Jesus was, okay? So remember, during those hard times, even when it gets to a point and it's like, I just can't keep doing this, I'm giving up, this is too hard, who do we need to look to? All right, we need to look to Jesus, and Jesus will help us get through it, okay? And always remember, this is a hard lesson to learn, okay? Sometimes the answer that we get from Jesus, or the guidance that we get, maybe isn't the answer that we wanted, but it's what Jesus saw best for us. And maybe down the road, another door is going to open up that is a better thing for us. Okay? So maybe you didn't make that ball team that you thought that you wanted to make, but a better team is going to open up, or a better opportunity. Or maybe you didn't get the part in the school program that you wanted, but later on down the road, there's another part that's even better for you, okay? So if Jesus shuts a door, there's always going to be another one that's going to open up, and we just have to believe that Jesus is guiding us to where we need to be, okay? Peter and the other disciples had recently witnessed the miracle of Jesus feeding the 5,000 with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. They knew he was miraculous, but in the stress of the moment, Peter forgot to have faith, and he sank like a rock. Peter struggled with his faith while Jesus was right there in the flesh. We are called to have faith in Jesus. Even though, sorry for a second, guys. Even though we couldn't see with him our own eyes, the Bible tells us that faith is the reality of what we hope for the proof of what we don't see. Okay? So let's read that again. I like that. It says the Bible tells us that faith is reality of what we hope for, the proof of what we don't see. Okay? And that's in Hebrews 11:1. Okay? So, like I said, it's hard to have faith sometimes, and it's hard to believe that, God's up there controlling everything, because we can't always see, everything that he does. But we see the result of what he does. All right. So we can't physically see God, or Jesus right now, but we can see with our own eyes the miracles that he performs, the beauty that he performs every day. It's just like I said, we can't really see wind, but we see the effects of wind. We see the trees moving, like the leaves moving on the trees, right? We see stuff being blown around, right? Okay? We can't visually see like sound waves or light waves, but we see light and we hear sound. So we believe. So that's how we are with Jesus. We just have to believe. We have to have that faith that Jesus is there and he's taking care of us and he's performing the miracles, because we see those miracles every day. We see people being healed. We see, prayers answered every day for certain things. So your faith grows the more that you can believe without seeing Jesus personally. Okay, and I know that's kind of hard, but it comes the older you get. Okay. So it says, I have a challenge for you to prepare your hearts for faith in Jesus. Come up with 5 things you believe in, even though you can't see them. Okay? So some of these examples of things we can't see, but that we believe are real, is one I just said, God. We believe there's a God and he's up there and he's in control of it. Even though we can't see him, we still believe that there is a God up there taking care of us, okay? We can't, you don't see necessarily love, but we know there's love because people hug each other. They tell each other they love them. We see good acts of kindness. We see people caring, about strangers and trying to help strangers out. Like I said, acts of kindness. That's all signs of love, okay? You don't see hearts floating around above somebody's head or anything like that. But we see the results of love and the good things that come out of that, okay? Joy. So do we see happy flowers and rainbows over our heads all the time? No. But you can see people smile. That's a sign of joy. You hear people laugh. Okay, when they're happy, that's a sign of joy. Tears can even be a sign of joy, okay? When you're so happy and you're so overwhelmed with joy, you don't know what else to do. A lot of times people cry. I cry, you know, if I get really happy about something. You can cry. People will be like, I remember when we adopted Rayleigh and they said that our adoption was official. When the lawyer said that, I cried. I didn't cry because I was upset. I cried because I was happy because, you know, God gave us Rayleigh and it was official and she was our daughter and everything. You know, God worked a miracle and he took care of us, okay? Peace. Do we see peace signs floating around everywhere? No. But when things are calm, when people are getting along with each other, when there isn't fighting, that's a result. We can, you know, that's how we see the effects of peace, okay? Electricity. I just kind of mentioned this, okay? We can't necessarily see the sparks or the going in between the lines to make things work, but I charged my computer. My computer's running. I had to charge my phone. If you have a lamp and you plug it in and you turn it on and you see the light bulb come on, electricity, okay? So we know there's electricity, right? The memory of a funny joke. All right, so do we see, you know, like cartoons have those little bubble heads that come up and it'll have like the joke wrote up here or something, like the words wrote up here. We don't see that like when we remember something, but we can be sitting there doing something and then it triggers our memory and we're like, oh, do you remember that? And then we laugh about it or remember the joke or, you know, whatever, okay? The way, I like this one, the way a beautiful song makes us feel, okay? So if you're sitting in church and John's singing a song or we're all singing a song that really touches you, you can see goosebumps come up on your arm or maybe you do cry or you get emotional, okay? So that there's beauty in music, right? We can't see the notes in the air, but we hear the notes being played, okay? You can hear that sound waves, you hear, okay? The feeling when somebody forgives a mistake you've made. And that's always great. And then the greatest feeling should be to know that if you are saved and you have that relationship with Christ, you have that beautiful feeling inside, okay? That feeling of forgiveness from Christ. And that's like 1,000 weights is lifted off of you when you know that Jesus forgives you of all your sins, okay? All right, so this is jolly good. Knights of the North Castle, I believe we are ready for our castle call out today. So let's stand up and we'll say it together, okay? So here we go. So this is our castle call out, and like I said, I forgot to do this. So our castle call out is, you ready? Let me scoot back so you can see me better. All right, here we go. So say, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Okay, so that is our castle call out, and that's in Ephesians 6:10. Okay? All right, so that is our lesson today. I'm going to get my chair before I sit on the floor and go to sit in my chair and sit and fall down. So if you have your packets, like I said, I've been using the preschool one because that's the one Rayleigh's been doing. So, you know, make sure to do your packets. We are on lesson 4. So guys, preschool guys, since I forgot to get the stickers, just draw you a picture out here. It says use the Bible story stickers to complete the scene, tell someone the Bible story. So they're in the boat. So who was out in the water? Who came staying in out in the water? Jesus did, right? Okay, and then Peter came out to follow him. Okay, so you can draw Jesus and you can draw Peter in there in that picture. All right. This one you have to find all the hidden snowflakes, okay? So there's all your activities that you do are in this. Guys, don't forget also, just for some extra fun and stuff, you also have your activity book here. So if there's some other things that you would like to do in here, like I said, to have a little extra more stuff, this is your activity book that's got some fun things in it for you to do there. All right, so today is a science experiment. So in your packet, you should have a plastic baggie with a pencil in it and a piece of paper. All right, so what you will do is you will open up your paper, and if you flip it onto the back here, you'll see this picture of there's Jesus down here, and then there's water up here. So what you need to do is cut this out of this paper and then fold that picture in half on that dotted, on that line that it says fold, and then you're gonna tape it to your pencil, okay? And then you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna see something, okay? So that's what you will do, all right. And then on the back, it tells you how it works, and then our Bible tie-in back there. So make sure that you read that, okay? So like I said, you'll just cut this picture out. You can color it if you want to, fold it, tape it to your pencil, and then do your science experiment, all right? All right, so I look forward to seeing you all today, posting some pictures. We've had some great pictures. I've gotten pictures from Eden, Mackenzie, Cole, McFedridge's, Rayleigh's been posting pictures on there. Riley and Allison's been posting pictures. So let's get some more coming. And if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Don't forget, if you do a dance to one of the songs, okay? If one of the songs that we've been doing, if you do a dance to that and you post that, then you get 2 or 3 extra chances to win Sparky, okay? All right, so I'll see you guys later. You have a great rest of the day and have fun. And thanks again. See ya.